It's been about 10 or 11 weeks since I first set up my hydroponic gardening system, and I've had enough time with it to be able to give a little feedback. And I think I'm going to do two main things in this video. One is kind of compare it a little bit to what it was like to my experience in the fall of actually growing plants in the local community garden outside in the dirt versus here growing it inside, and also kind of how it fits into the rest of my homesteading life, because this is plants growing in my office. It's not really a traditional way to grow in my particular situation. So the first thing I would say is, what is it like compared to growing outside? So it really wasn't that much more work either way. Like once I got the plants in the ground, especially outside, there wasn't all that much work, and there's not a ton of work I have to do on this either. The system actually takes care of quite a lot. So I would say the amount of work it takes to grow outdoors versus with this hydroponic garden is roughly equivalent, maybe a little bit less with the hydroponic garden. However, on the plus side with the hydroponic garden, the variety is just gigantic. I mean, it's huge compared to what I was able to grow outside, and that's because the environment is controlled. The temperature is controlled. This thing controls the watering, it controls the light, and because of that, I'm able to plant a much wider variety. And it also has a huge impact on the yield. Like once after about the first month, things took a little while to sprout. They kind of started slow, but after about the first month, when the system started to up its watering routine, everything just exploded. I mean, to the degree that in the last 5 weeks, I would say, I've probably made 6 or more salads just by taking the greens off of the lettuce and such that are growing on it. So it's a really big difference in output. And also, there's the convenience of it being in my office, to be able to pluck stuff off. I would say that the other thing that's really striking and this is probably just generally, about growing in general, it's just so different to eat any of this stuff when it's fresh off the plant than when you go to the store and buy it. And for example, I've regularly plucked off leaves of the chard that's on here and just eaten it straight, which I would never do with chard I buy in the store. But this stuff just tastes completely different. So the other piece I wanted to cover was well, how does this fit in with my homesteading lifestyle? Because this isn't exactly the way you would traditionally do it. In a traditional sense, I would be out there planting stuff in the dirt and with my hands and such. So I would say that if I wasn't doing all the other things I was doing on my homesteading journey, cutting down trees, hauling firewood, hauling water, that it would make more sense for me to spend more time outside growing. But I already spent quite a bit of time outside doing those things, and I kind of didn't feel like I needed to also spend time outside growing. And this, because of the other things I said about the advantages of it, I think it just works better for me. And really, the thing about my homesteading journey was never about completely eschewing modernity. I've been trying to find what I call the sweet spot between feeling more connected with the things that are essential to survival and modernity. I want to find the sweet spot where I'm kind of getting the best bang for my buck out of sitting in the middle there. And this hydroponic gardening system is actually pretty great, a pretty great sweet spot for me in terms of my relationship with food. I definitely feel much more connected. I mean, in a certain sense, it's got an app and it kind of tells me what to do, so I'm sort of like the human robot arms of this thing. But I do need to learn some, and I have to make decisions, and the plant variety is such that I am learning some about growing, and I definitely feel more connected with my relationship with food. But I get to take advantage of the modern convenience of it managing a lot of stuff for me and the controlled environment. So it actually meets my criteria for my journey in terms of my relationship with the elements of survival quite well, just in a little bit different way.